So today's reading, we're looking at what is your legacy, okay? Or what legacy are you going to be leaving behind? What is the culmination of your great work here on earth, if you will, on this plane, in this realm, okay? What your old essence is going to leave behind, basically, because I feel like that's what our legacy is. Right? Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Toké, and I love to provide insightful readings that provides clarity, comfort, and confirmation for you, okay, of what you already know, what your intuition has been trying to tell you, but maybe you want to hear from somewhere else. I make myself available just for that. Okay, and I hope you're all doing well wherever you are. We're in Aquarius season, so happy birthday to all of my Aquarius friends. And this reading is inspired by us moving from Capricorn season of, the work, okay, the work, the perseverance, the resilience, and Aquarius season, which is like the innovation or the new way or the new wave of something here, okay? So that's what I'm trying to see. But yes, I wanted to look at your legacy as something that is already coded within you, something that is already coded within your own energetic field, within your own blueprint, your soul's blueprint, but also something that is fated for you no matter how much you veer off, no matter how much you veer off the path, no matter how much, you take a break, you take a reroute, you take a pause. This is always going to be your legacy at the end of the day, okay? That's what I really want to look at here. And some of us, we're either doing this consciously or subconsciously. So we're going to see here, resonate with already doing the work, or if you resonate with just wanting to start doing the work because you finally realize, it is fated for you, or it is destined for you to do that work, okay, and create a legacy from it. This is, again, just meant to be a fun reading about, what your essence is leaving behind, what your legacy is going to be. So as always, we have 3 piles, and I do have my tea here that I'm going to be drinking because I'm recording this pretty late in the night. And so I suggest that you grab something that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel warm. My tea's already cold, but it's okay. I would love for you guys to pick using the symbols here. Whatever catches your eye first is most likely your pile, but you may be drawn to multiple piles. That's okay. We have pile number 1 here, pile number 2, and pile number 3 all the way to the right. So once you're done picking your pile of piles, I will be seeing you in your reading, and I cannot wait for this reading, okay? So yeah, get comfortable, get relaxed. Let's get into your reading. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading, where we're taking a look at what is your legacy, okay? What legacy you're going to be leaving behind, whether you're already doing this consciously or subconsciously. Let's just see what's waiting to come out for us, okay? These are the cards I wanted to come out for you. 2 of these, which are your magical spell cards, which is like the spell around your legacy, what it makes people feel, what people can't really resist. This right here is your significator. This is like what your legacy is going to be about. I also wanted to pull out archetypal energy before we go into that. Let's see what archetypal energy is kind of like driving you to build this legacy. Thank you. It's pretty fast, pretty spot on. All right, so we have the medallion. The medallion. But before we get into the medallion, I would love to share these cards with you. We have here, loosen your grip. Loosen your grip. This is what your legacy is going to be about. I feel like this is what you're teaching people, right? This is what you're leaving behind. Your whole great work is teaching people to loosen their grips. And this here says coping mechanisms, addiction, density, let God in. Addiction, density, let God in. Okay. And I'm going to get into the medallion because and that's why I wanted to pull an archetypal energy on camera, because I just knew that it would be so spot on. All of these cards have been so spot on in the way that they're kind of talking with each other here. And I really, really just love that. And let me show you these ones. The first card that came out, the first card that came out was this one. It was Destiny. Listen, we're talking about legacy and destiny is coming out for you. Like, this is your destiny, okay? You're destined for this work for sure. And Destiny here says, Destiny here says, all that I shall need to know as I walk shall now be known. all that I need to know as I walk shall now be known. And then we also have here authenticity. Authenticity. Who I truly am is good indeed. I am authentic in thought, in word, and in deed. Okay? Who I truly am is good indeed. I am authentic in thought, word, and deed. All right, so let's get into it. Point blank freaking period, okay? Just point blank period. My group number ones. Your pile is almost going to make me emotional because this is what a lot of people are struggling with these days. I feel like addictions and just density, and also like not finding their place in the world. So they feel the need to take something, they feel the need to have something from the external to fill up that emptiness that's within them. Okay. And a lot of these people that are moving like this, they are doing it on a subconscious note because they don't know any better. So they choose things, vices, and habits that, again, just causes more density, that causes them to be weighed down, that causes their true potential, their true authenticity in who they are to be weighed down. And this is the work that you're doing, is helping them open the veil of that illusion, right? Open the veil of that illusion of wanting to always take something from the external, being married so much to the external, and being so attached to something outside of you to fill your own cup, or to fill inside of yourself, or to fill that empty space that is within you. Because even this here says, let God in. I feel like you're going to be teaching people what your legacy is teaching people to not fill that empty space up with just anything, but to fill it with something that is always going to withstand whatever challenges they're going through, okay? So that they're not always running externally to heal themselves, or to heal themselves. Because the medallion here also, this is something I feel like you've dealt with. I feel like you're someone who has dealt with coping mechanisms, who's dealt with addictions, who's dealt with, and I think you've really battled or find ways. You found the key that feels like a medallion. You found something, okay, that helps you overcome a lot of these challenges that you've gone through. And that's why this is going to be your legacy, is because you become a herald of authenticity. You become someone, an ambassador of authenticity. You become someone who has actually walked the path, who has also gotten lost to only find themselves and find God within them. That's what your legacy is going to be. No matter what God means to you, I feel like you're teaching people how to connect to the divine source within them, and not to seek externally for that divine source, because they will never find it. They will always be empty every time they look outside of themselves. That's why destiny even comes here to reassure you and to reinstill your trust in the faith of God, or faith in God, that says, all that I shall need to know as I walk shall now be known. That is ultimate trust, okay? That is knowing that you trust the God that is within you. You trust the intuition that God has given you. You trust being led by God. And you've also surrendered all your attachment to the material world. Now, I say that very gently, okay? Because this is not saying to just, okay, we do live in a material world, okay? We need this, right? But this is a place of like, where is your faith rooted in? Okay. I feel like that's what you teach people. Okay. To keep their faith rooted in God, and to trust themselves. Like, you're helping people find parts of themselves that they never even knew, that was so empty, okay, that was so void of the relationship with God, that was so separate. Just like many of us here, a lot of us are like this. That's why we hold on too tightly. That's why when chaos ensues, we become even more befuddled, or we get even more scared, because everything that we've known and that has been in our comfort zone is being ripped away from us. So it's it's so hard to have that trust in the unknown. But this is your legacy, is reinstilling trust within the unknown with a lot of people, because that teaches them to be authentic to their own self, to their own journey, and not to just wanting to fill up this empty space with just anything that is given to them, or that is outside of them, or that is like, yeah, just anything and everything, okay? Because if you don't have something that you're standing on, if you don't have something that you're rooted in, you're liable to just accept anything, and you might even accept less. You might even settle for less when God has a kingdom waiting for you, okay? I don't mean to be like a preacher saying this, or like if that's what that's coming off as, it's really not. I feel like this is just really, like, for this to say, let God in, I just really think the divine, or the divine source, is, you know, always helping us, like always guiding us back home to ourselves, to say that's where you will find fulfillment, is within yourself. It's never going to be external. And the way that you also find fulfillment is to be authentic to yourself, to the company that you keep, to everything that's in your environment, and what you're ingesting, okay? What you're taking in, what you're feeding your soul. Because if it's not authentic to your soul, then how can you ever be in harmony with the source? How can you ever be in harmony even with your own destiny? So this is like teaching a lot of people, like, your legacy is about teaching. It's almost teaching through your own way of being, right? Being authentic to yourself, because that also allows you to not seek anything other than yourself, or externally of yourself. And when I say self, I'm not meaning the ego self, because the ego is actually the one that wants to hold on to these things, that wants to hold on to everything that makes it feel safe, and all the material thing that makes it feel safe. But this is almost teaching you to, like, to be someone who can go without. Like, you're okay, because this is a dual reality, right? It's like you're almost okay with, like, if with the clothes on your back is all that you got, you're good with that, because you know that you are still rich and abundant and connected to the source that provides all of these material abundance, right? This is about deep trust in the unknown. That's what your legacy is teaching people to have deep trust in the divine, and faith, to have faith in the divine, to have deep trust in the unknown, and to also trust themselves. Like, this is about themselves, because at the end of the day, yes, whatever coping mechanisms that we've been conditioning ourselves to move through this reality, or to experience this reality, the work is going to be deeply on each individual, to be able to either create new ways, or just keep running on empty. I see a lot of you in here being counselors, being influencers, but like, not just willy-nilly type influencer. Like, this is you influencing people to eat healthy, or to do something in healthy ways that really aligns them to their own true authentic self, or that helps them get to know their real self on the inside, their real authentic self, okay? Because that also leads them to their destiny. It leads them to a lot of trust in all the steps that they're going to be taking. I don't know. I'm also hearing the noble peace prize, or something like that. I definitely feel like one of your legacy also has to do with being recognized, okay? Recognized for this work that you're going to be doing, okay? Because this is big work. This is like, this work also feels self-sacrificial, because you had to have walked this walk to be able to talk your talk, okay? Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like you've been through the depths of this addictions, of like something holding you so much so that you can't break away from it, but you also know you can't keep doing that, because it's not healthy for you, because it's also not bringing you the vitality that you need to be able to move through the world, or to be able to experience the kind of world that you want to experience. But this is all about vital essence, like your essence, and not giving that away just because you feel empty. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tap into tarot. What is your legacy? Thank you. Yeah, okay. Group number 1, what is your legacy? Yeah, there's definitely a back and forth mental game here that I feel like you help people to just decide. Oh yes, you help people be more decisive about where they're trying to go, okay? Because what if people have multiple options and whatnot and they want all of them? You're helping them understand like, okay, yes, you can have all of them, but also which one is the truest to you? Which one is true to you? Which one helps you fully reach your own potential here? Right? Which one also feels more like your destiny as opposed to, again, settling for less or settling for just whatever's in front of you just because, it was in front of you, even though it wasn't true to you. And that's what I'm getting here within the Two of Pentacles, because it's like, yes, there is choices. There's multiple choices. And, I feel like you help people with greed as well, with the energy of greed, of like, knowing what's good enough for them and taking that at face value instead of like thinking, well, I've already enjoyed this. Well, what if I were like, I don't know. There's just these sneaky thoughts that I feel like you're helping people close out from that cycle, because again, it shows them that wanting all these things just keeps them dense, like their desires. Okay, there's something here about desires, helping people understand their true desires, or their true authentic desire. Exactly, their true authentic desire is what I'm getting here, and to go after that, to only seek that, right, as opposed to all the million things that they could have. It's almost like also renouncing materialistic energy. I don't know. It's just renouncing something. Even though you can have it all, you're renouncing it for what's truly yours. Something like that. That's what I'm getting here. Because you really help them find a key here. I feel like my group number 1s, you're just good at like understanding your own destiny, or you just understand what you're here for. And a lot of people are going to notice that. Yes, their true fulfillment, their true happiness, what makes them truly happy. You're helping people understand that vices does not make them happy. Yes, it may make them happy for a second, but like it's not the ultimate fulfillment. You teach people to find the ultimate fulfillment without overburdening themselves with too many things, okay? Overburdening themselves with the illusions of too many things, with the illusions of choices here. And with the Chariot, you definitely set them on the right path, on the right, like you also show them how their subconscious is driving them, like what is driving them subconsciously, and you give them, you almost remind them of their authenticity, that also give them their conscious awareness of the things that they're choosing to invite into their lives, and how this is inevitably creating the world that they want or the one that they don't want, and how to change it. Because at the end of the day, while we're giving energy to these things, they're also taking energy from us. So it's definitely an exchange. If we're giving ourselves to addictions, then our world is going to foretell of it. We won't really have anything, or like we will have a very rigid type of lifestyle where you can only have this, or you can only do this, or like before you can do this, you need to do this, and this, There's not really many freedom there. There's not really any freedom there. So definitely you give people freedom, or your legacy here is freeing them from unrealistic desires, okay, that really holds them captive from moving into the world that they truly want to build. Because I think people are very brilliant. That the same mind, like the mind is a double-edged sword, right? So you teach them how to use their sword right, how to wield their sword in the most authentic ways, and to feel like they're good enough. Like one of your legacy here is to like meet people as they are and leave them feeling even better than when you met them, is what I'm getting here. Because then they fall in love with themselves. They feel free. They have this freedom instead of this heaviness of the baggage or the trauma that they've been carrying and they've also been feeding. consciously or subconsciously, because again, they're still exchanging energy with these things. So I think you are a very conscious, bright light, bright energy that puts a stop. Just like, yes, just like this medallion here. Exactly. Like it's almost like they reach for that knowledge or that wisdom from you. Yes. Okay, so you're definitely helping people out of a grip, a dark mental grip, that a hold over them. Because also these people, they're chasing this thing, thinking that this thing will fulfill them. It will give them, you know, everything that they want. But that thing insidiously only takes away from it. It takes away from their vitality. It takes away from their essence. And also it causes a lot of confusion in who their authentic self really is, because then they're like, why do I want these things? Why am I so, you know, why does this have such a hard grip on me? And they can fall into that, you know, that darkness, that it's like I'm seeing a quicksand, exactly. Like a quicksand that just swallows you immediately. But like you, your light, your legacy, or whatever it is that you do and how you do it is what brings them from out of that hole. That's what I'm getting here. Like you show them what it is they really want to fight for. You show them what they have within them that they should keep fighting for. You show them the light that they have always been. And I feel like you're someone that doesn't even want to be on a pedestal of like, you know, like you don't even, you know, you're not, I don't know, I can't tell. I feel like you're someone who doesn't even really crave or even want attention on you at all, because you're so focused on your own self. But people see you and the way that you move and they're like, wow, I want to be like my group number ones. I want to be how free they are, how they take on life, how they don't let that fears hold them back. Because, you know, when I say addictions, it's not only vices. People are addicted to fear. People are addicted to doubt. People are addicted to having low self-esteem and whatnot. So I just feel like you help them come out of these deep, heavy holes that they, you know, they've been conditioned to be in, or they've been programmed. Their subconscious has been programmed to be like that. So you are definitely a clarity in the lives of many people. That's the legacy here that you're bringing. You're definitely a light in a lot of people's life, especially people who go through a lot of dense, heavy energies, a lot of like coping mechanisms and addiction. Okay. All right. I think this is all that I have for you. Yeah. I also feel like your legacy is also teaching people what's worth fighting for. Okay. And what desires are worth going after, as opposed to one that are always going to deplete you and leave you feeling begging for more and more and more and more. And if they, you just end up keeping giving until you're empty again. You're back on empty. Okay, you teach people to prioritize, okay, to really, really prioritize. There's definitely a difference between this page of wands and this 10 of wands. This 10 of wands is someone who wants this, that, and that, and that. And he almost forgets why he even picked up the one to begin with. He almost forget. He doesn't even know. He's so thrown into all the things that he's attached himself to, all the desires that he really wants to have, to where he forgot the one true thing that was driving him to begin with. So everything becomes foggy and confused for him, right? That's the difference. Instead of putting your full attention to the one thing that's going to fulfill you, give you the ultimate fulfillment here within the 10 of Cups. Okay? Because it starts here with the 12 Pentacles. Do I want to go this way? Do I want to go that way? But it's like, okay, but you really know here within the Page of Wands, there's a spark, there's something, a desire that really drives you. But because you know all the options and all the things that you can have, it's like they almost get greedy and they want to have this, this, and this, and that. But then you are like, okay, you're definitely the chariot here, the balance between the duality and the polarity of our world. And you teach them to, again, really, to really hear within the 10 of Cups, like, you're almost like, listen, you can have it all. You just have to like be aligned, okay, and be authentic to again, what will truly fulfill you, what will truly give you the vitality that you have, and that you already have something within you that can help you attract these things, or that can help you become magnetic. And you just have to stop spreading yourself so thin and have a direct focus on what you want. That's really the legacy here. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop there. And we also have 1010 here. So I feel like you're definitely a mastery of whatever this is. You're a master of your craft for sure. You are definitely a master of your craft. You have a way with words, with the way with also your perspective, and how you express your perspective, and how it helps people comprehend, how people comprehend your perspective too, in a way that it just clicks for them. I don't know. There's something, there's a magic that you have, there's a magic that you do. I think it's because it's your destiny and you're so authentic to yourself. So like people feel that within you and they're like, oh yes, this is what I need to listen to. You know, you could even have a podcast. I feel like you're someone who preaches. I don't know, you do something through speaking or through creating something here, for sure, that helps people come into more balance and harmony of the things that they say that they do want. Okay. And to choose correctly, you help them choose correctly for sure, and to let go of their coping mechanisms. All right, final thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use this animal spirit cards. Let's see here. We're gonna use this animal spirit cards as our closing messages. I love that. Okay. We're using this animal spirit cards, and honestly, you can take them for yourself as a resonate, but also I feel like this is what your legacy has to do with. Grasshopper spirit, you help people take a leap of faith into, again, into the unknown. You help them take a leap of faith for sure. Yep, the grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. We also have here, it's time to collaborate with the ant spirit and koala spirit. See, trusting in the unknown, trusting in God, trusting. Yes, koala spirit here says spirit has a plan. Spirit has a plan. Okay, well, there you go. Spirit has a plan, the great plan. All right. Spirit has a plan. I want to get one more just because. Yeah, it's almost like you help them see the great plan, like, you know, helping them see that they are part of a bigger plan that they don't even know about. Spirit has a plan. I love that one. And the final one, cat spirits. Okay, claim your independence. Exactly. Claim your independence. You help people claim their independence, especially when it comes to these addictions and these coping mechanisms. Okay. You really help people stand in their own power and their own true authenticity again, right? You help them see the greater plan. You help them see that they're a part of the greater plan of the divine as well too. And that's what makes them start choosing themselves. That's what makes them start choosing, you know, to be led from within instead of without. All right, so final thing we're going to do is the frequency. Let's see here what frequency you bring. Thank you. Okay. Empowerment. Yes. Your legacy has to do, the frequency of your legacy that you're leaving behind is empowerment. I love it. Okay. I feel like I was going on a merry-go-round there, but I hope the message came across still. Definitely empowerment for sure. Number 26. And it says the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us, no, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we're all connected through the same source. Exactly. That we're all connected through the great source. Okay, this is all that I'm seeing for you. I hope that you've enjoyed your reading, and I hope that it provided to you clarity, comfort, and confirmation. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Do not forget to turn your notification bell on. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hello there, group number 2. Welcome to your reading where we're taking a look at what is your legacy? What legacy are you leaving behind, okay? Throughout your great spiritual work or your spiritual journey or just, you moving through this earth like we're all doing, okay? I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Before we get into your reading, I would like to pick out an archetypal energy. I would love for Spirit to share the archetypal energy surrounding this legacy. Okay, I think I saw this one first. Alright, well, they're glued together, so we're going to have both of them out. Let's see. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, they're definitely glued together. But the one that did want to come out, I think, was Kairos. It was Kairos, and it's very interesting. Kairos and Eros. Okay, Eros is either Eros is in love or like desire, okay? Desire, for sure. And then we have Kairos. Kairos is like, I don't know, the crown. This also has I think it's a wolf, isn't it? Like the white wolf, the polar wolves or something like that. Okay? This is being able to withstand extreme weather or change in the weather or conditions like that. Being able to withstand, yes, change. Kairos is reminding me of like the crown chakra, okay? The crown chakra and also Kether of the tree of life, the first Sephiroth of the tree of life, the one, yes, the one that kind of holds everything, the one that can see all the perspective, all the different perspectives, okay? And with Eros here, I feel like it's desire, but like also watching what you desire for and how your drive for desire can either lead you good or lead you bad, okay? Or something like that. Because it's not to say we're not going to have desires. It's what are we going to, the actions that we're going to do. Do we follow them or are we able to tame ourselves, our, animalistic, wild side of us, okay? Now, as we're looking into that, I also want to show you these cards because this is a significator. This is what your legacy is about, is the portal. It feels like you're a portal. Doors are open and you decide rewards wild card, okay? Rewards wild card. Doors are opening, you decide rewards and wild card. Let me just say your willpower is intense and immense is what I'm getting. Okay, your willpower, your ability to pinpoint something, your ability to be able to see. You are a visionary, all right? Because I don't know, there's a way that your consciousness or your awareness kind of expands or it opens up to see many different aspects of what could happen and what can happen. And I feel like you're the type of person that also has the audacity to follow through, right? Again, depending on your conditionings, you're a follow through kind of person. You're a very decisive person. And I feel like you're also a portal that teaches people about what's possible because again, you help them you see from a higher perspective. You're not closed-minded. You're a very open-minded individual. And I feel like that's why here your desires are also going to be a guiding light or guiding force because it's a wild card, right? You don't know what you're even going to get, right? That's what I'm getting here. You decide. So your legacy has to do with instilling willpower within people, okay? It's like teaching them about their own willpower, teaching them how to close a portal, open another one, but also know what it is that you're intending for because you're actually going to get it. So be careful what you wish for, I feel like is your message here. Because you're like, listen, it's not about good or bad. It's about what's the highest experience that you can get. And if you didn't know that you can get a highest experience, well, here you go. Like, let me lay it all out for you, like Kairos here. This is one perspective. This is one perspective. This is, I feel like you really lay it down like, okay, these are your choices since you didn't know that you had some. But it's also what your choices are rooted in. Is it just ego based, ego mind of trying to like quickly get instant gratification now, or are you trying to build something that will feel like a legacy, something that is quite sustainable because you already got the vision and now you're working for it day by day, step by step, doing it all diligently. And then the spell or the magical spell that your legacy has is health here. And it's interesting because health, exactly, health. This is like saying, yeah, like that's what it feels like. This is like, listen, you don't have to play small, but also like choose the things that are going to be healthy for you. Choose the things that are going to sustain you in the long run. Okay. It's like investing in your health now so that when you're 70 or when you're 80, you're still able to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. Right? It's again that energy of that visionary of like knowing what to do now to set yourself up for better in the future and releasing instant gratification. Because yes, you can go into that portal of that instant gratification, but what if it also sets you back 10 times? Because what if that also creates a different kind of karmic cycle for you that then you have to learn from, right? Learn from your choices because you don't even like where your choices led you. If that makes sense, that's what I'm getting here. Health here says, Mother Earth, sweet Mother Earth bride, bring to me your health and might. So this is about knowing that, yes, this is also giving me Virgo energy. This is giving me Virgo energy for sure. Of like really paying attention to the details, and also not everything that glitters isn't gold. I feel like that's one of the things that you teach people. That's one of the legacies that you're leaving behind. It's definitely instilling their willpower. It's definitely like, yes, helping them understand their choices when it comes to their willpower, saying, don't ever think you can't achieve something, or don't ever think you can't, make something happen. And also, like, you do teach them to follow their desire. It's just you're just like, okay, I feel like you just help them understand that yes, desires drive us, but also what is the desire rooted in at the end of the day? Okay, because we can desire love, but like, are we desiring love because we want that love from the external because we can't give it to ourselves? And then think about it, you fall in love with someone, they deplete your energy, or finally they just can't do it anymore, or the relationship breaks up, and see, now you're still feeling empty because you never gave yourself that love that you're looking for from the external. And I think you also teach them that their desires are portals. They're portals into seeing the root of who they are, is what I'm getting, or the root of something, okay? And that something can either be good or it can be bad. That's why it's a wild card, right? Because if you desire love, what is the root of you desiring love and romance and all of that? Is it because, you expect it from the external, or is it because you've already given yourself that? So inevitably that love comes to you freely because you've already given yourself that. Or are you so attached to it, or do you even detest being alone so much so that you want to have a person next to you, even though they're not going to give you the best of what you deserve? That's another question here. So I feel like you definitely help them see beyond the veil of their desires. Okay. I don't know. That's very interesting. I like that energy, especially with Kairos here too, because you definitely see the higher perspective, or the depths of their true desire. I don't know. It's so crazy. I don't know, but that's where my head is going for sure. Doors are open and you decide. Rewards wild card. Because Eros here looks tempting. Like, something that is desirable looks tempting, but I feel like one of your legacies is to teach people that Again, not all that glitters isn't gold. I just keep hearing that all that glitters isn't gold. Like, be careful what you're really putting yourself into, because, and also teaching them that they are the portal they're the portal that's pulling something away from them. No, they are the portal that is either pulling something towards them or repelling something from them, something that they do want, okay? Or it comes in a form of, I don't know. It's almost like whatever it is that they're trying to attract also comes in the form of something that will end up teaching them. And it's either going to be a lesson or a blessing at the end of the day. So I feel like your legacy has to do with helping people like learn, teach them how to see 10 steps ahead of even their own subconscious desires and subconscious patterns, that it's either pulling something towards them or something that they don't want towards them, or even repelling something that they do want from them. Because it all has to do with health, right? We like, desires are healthy. They're healthy because it gives us a drive to keep going after something, right? But is that something healthy for us is the question here. Is that something that we're going after? Is it something that gives us health, or is it something that depletes our vitality and takes us away from what we could have had, or what could have been, good for us? Okay, let's go ahead and tap into tarot. And I also keep hearing, why do you want the things you say you want? Why do you want the things you say you want? Like, look deeper. Look deeper as to why you say you want the things that you want. Is it because you're already lacking it? Is it because you feel like you can't have it? Or is it because you know that you're worthy of it, and you're just opening a portal that allows that to reach you faster, or something like that, okay? You definitely teach them that it's a double-edged sword for sure, this portal opening up. And that's why it says doors opening, you decide, rewards or wild card, But yeah, let's tap into tarot, because this is a very interesting, elusive type of energy, I feel. It's giving Neptunian, it's giving Pisces, Virgo type of energy too. Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles. That's not legacy. I don't know what it is. Interesting. We have the Ten of Cups again. Okay. This came out in another pile. Okay, so we have another 10-10 here. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. I mean, yeah, if we're looking at a topic of legacy, then I would assume that by the end of building this legacy, you're a master of it. That's why it's coming up. That's why I keep seeing tens. Let me see what the first card is. Yep. Oh my god, yes, the Four of Cups. Okay. Definitely your legacy has to do with helping people find the root cause, okay? I just keep hearing the root cause. The root cause, okay? Because it seems like people, yes, they know how to manifest, pull things out of the portal, whatever, but then they don't investigate enough the desire behind what it is that they want to experience. So when those things that they've poured their energy into, when it doesn't work out the way that they thought it would work out, because again, their desires was rooted in something that was untrue to begin with, it's like, okay, so how do we move from there? How do we move from how do we move from that? Okay, how do we pay attention to the things that are here and that are meant for us, right? How do we move to paying attention to those things? That's what I'm getting here. Because Four of Cups is like, I put my energy into something, I manifested, I prayed, I did this and this and this, but I can't manifest the thing that I truly want. Well, it's because you need to look deeper. Like, you need to look at something. You need to look at why. And you need to look to see if the thing that you're trying to manifest, if it's even good for you. Because God loves us that much. God won't just give you something that is going to help you ruin your life even more. Okay. Or yeah, like exactly. Or that will really, take you off course or help your health here. If it's going to be something that's going to cause damage to your health, God is not going to give that to you. But us, our limited minds keep wanting things that are not good for us. So I feel like your legacy has to do with helping people eliminate or understand and investigate their true desires so that they can actually attract things that are good for them. And when those things show up, they will be grateful, they will be happy. And when they don't show up, they can go and investigate as to, okay, well, why, or something there, okay? What is the root cause? That's what I just keep getting here. This pile also, I feel like you are, it's feeling to me like, because traditions here, these are people who also break away from traditions. These are people who also reject the norm of something, okay? They reject, maybe the traditions from their family or things that they've been subjected to as a child, right? So I feel like you help people understand, again, that's the root cause I kept feeling. Maybe some things within their traditions that they followed all through, never repaid them or gave them the fulfillment that they really wanted, even though the parents or their family said, well, if you do it like this, like this, like this, then you should be able to get this. And they get to a point where it's like, okay, well, I followed everything right. I followed everything that they said I should do, and I still didn't get what I wanted to get. And now it's causing me discomfort. It's causing me dis-ease within my energy because I don't feel good. I don't feel complete. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel whole. I don't feel like my life is my life. I feel like I lived another life for someone else or something like that. That's coming in. So your legacy just has to do with you and this eye that you have, this perspective that you'll have to be able to, again, pinpoint what went wrong, even though, yes, people think that they want something, and the real reason, okay, behind why they may or may not be getting what it is that they say they want. And even if they truly do want that, or maybe they've been told that that's what they want from a child. Because this Six of Cups foretells of like nostalgia, or like, a way things used to be and whatnot. Because it feels to me like these people here, the Four of Cups, or this energy of the Four of Cups, is just like, okay, I thought this was going to work, but then it didn't work, right? So then, yeah, it causes you discomfort. It causes the ego discomfort sometimes. So the ego has to reevaluate why it didn't work, number one, and also like what part of me is also blocking me from the things that I do say I want, or from the things that I do want to manifest. And also having the wisdom behind, hey, that thing that I really wanted, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that I didn't even get it because it wasn't beneficial to my health. It wasn't beneficial to my well-being to begin with. Okay, that's what I'm feeling for yours for sure. There's a lot of like inner child healing within your pile as well. I feel like your legacy also has to do with the inner child, healing the inner child and having a voice for the inner child. That's why it's also a portal, because you can go back there, you can go back to where like some traumatic experience happened, and also come back like to your desired reality. I don't know. Definitely watery energy. How water can build stability is what I'm getting here. How you can use your emotion as an energy to move through and build the stability that you want. How your emotions can be flexible enough, or how you can, change them. And also to know that things are not set in stone. Even if you don't get your desired reality, how can we try again? What other portal can we jump into? What other things, what were we missing? I feel like that's what your legacy has to do here. Yeah, very much so. Paying attention to details, paying attention to the roots, paying attention to the traditions, traditions that are working for us, ones that are not working for us anymore, ones that are actually causing this ease within our energy now because we can't go the way we used to go before, or we have to try something new now. But all in all, I feel like your legacy really just helps us understand the drive within our desires and our desired reality, how to get to our desired reality, a desired reality that is healthy for us. You definitely see 10 steps ahead though. So this is very, like, that archetypal energy is very, very strong. You see 10 steps ahead. You're visionary for sure. You're visionary. You just, I don't know, the way you compute things in your head, it just works. I love it. Okay, I love it. And also you're a mirror. I don't know. You are a mirror, just like this portal. It just feels like you're also a mirror. You see, I don't know. I really love your energy because this means that you are extremely self-aware of your own inner world and how it works. And that's how you're able to do this work externally. You're able to bring your wisdom that you have from within you and understanding all these different parts of your inner world that are compartmentalized. I feel like you definitely bring, and you're someone who has tested things. You've tried many things. So like your ways are tested and trusted, okay? Because I'm looking at this four of cups, I and V, right? And then I'm looking at the number 6, V and I. Like it looks switched, it kind of looks switched. So I feel like you help people with that uncrossing of cords, or something, some whatever knotted energies within them that is causing this ease within their energy, that is causing them to not live a life of vitality, or a life that is true to them, a life that fulfills them on the soul level within the 10 of cups here. And it all has to do with like desires and also like higher perspective. Okay, that's it. I think that's your reading. So what we want to do for you is we're going to go ahead and tap into the animal cards. Yes. Before we finish here though, because Pentacles is the only thing, I definitely feel like, yeah, your legacy is something that you're going to be passing down to, I don't know, it feels like something that you're definitely passing down to your children's, whatever key this is, this manifestational key, okay, this manifestational perspective that you've found is something that will be passed down to your generations, okay, within the 10 of Pentacles here. This is something, I feel like you're also the type of energy or the type of people to break cycles, or to also heal a generational energy or generational trauma, right, of things not working out for you, okay, and then just settling for a life that you don't really desire. I feel like you definitely are a rebel, a wild card that comes into place, and you're like, no, this is going to work for me for sure. Like, I already understand what was blocking me before. I'm moving away from it. So I'm bringing, more healthful thoughts, healthful foods, or healthy thinking into my life to be able to create my desired reality, is what I'm getting here. One that is also healing to my inner child. Okay. All right, let's see here what the animal spirit cards. Yep. Sweet results await. Yes. B, working together. Harmony. Harmony within duality. Thank you. Okay. And we can take these cards here, you can take them as they resonate with your life right now, or this is just the energy that your legacy has, okay? Is that sweet results await. It's just the energy that your legacy carries. It's like honey, exactly. Only bees make honey. Nothing else can make honey. So it's like something that really works, like using the thing that works, using the thing that God has already given you, your willpower to be able to make something work for you. But also you not being the one that is blocking you through desiring negative things that is not going to give, that is not going to cause, that is not healthy for you. Okay. We also have, because too much sweet is bad too, right? We could want sweet here and there, but like too much sweet, it's too bad for you, right? So it's like understanding that and bringing balance and harmony to the things that we say we want. And then we have here koi fish spirit. There's always enough. There is always enough, especially with this Four of Cups energy. That's what I'm saying with the portal. It's like you're healing this generational trauma that allows you to know that the universe is abundant. Okay, even if you poured your energy into something, you can always find different ways to get what it is that you want, is what I'm getting here. There is always enough. If there wasn't enough for you back then, in a different reality there is enough for you. So how can you tap into that? That's another thing. And Badger Spirit here says, be fearless and bold. Be fearless and bold, especially when it comes to jumping into these portals or coming out of something and jumping into another one, creating another portal, creating another reality, and doing the work, because it's not easy, but you have to be able to tap into your higher self's perspective here, like the crown chakra, so that you can start seeing what's possible for you, even though it's not in your current reality. Get one more. Okay. And I guess we got two more. The abundant spirit always provides. The abundant universe always provides. That's what I'm getting here. Okay. Owl spirit, like I said. Yes. The wisdom of the owl. Owl spirit. You see clearly now. Exactly. Root cause. You see clearly now. You're a healer. Okay, but pile number 2s are also healers. Okay, that's also your legacy. I feel like you definitely heal something within the roots, the traditions, and just how to, again, create your desired reality. Even if it's something that you've never seen within your family or the generational family, it's like you're like, no, I'm a wild card that's like gonna make the impossible possible. Okay, but also it really has to do with how am I also a part of what is blocking, this abundance that I can pick up on from Kairos, that I can pick up on when I tap into the expansive universe, when I tap into this source. So we have the owl spirit, you see clearly now. And then we also have, oh my God, pig spirit. Exactly. This is what I've been saying this whole time. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Exactly. Use your mind wisely. Use your desires wisely. Use your mind wisely. Don't pig out. Use your mind wisely. Exactly. Because you're still exchanging energy at the end of the day. But it's like, okay, if you're not getting your desired reality, maybe it's just not good for you and you got to let it go. You got to recreate something else, create something different. Use your mind wisely. Pig spirit, okay? All right, final thing we're going to do, let's see the frequency of your legacy, the frequency that your legacy leaves behind. Yes. And I also feel like doing this work, my pile number 2s, is definitely going to give you a lot of abundance within this right here, because you're definitely helping a lot of people. They're going to be coming to you. And also here, like, you feel proud, you feel fulfilled of how far you've come, and also how you never became where you came from, or something like that. It's like you transcended where you came from by jumping out of the portal or by creating a different portal or something like that. It's your willpower, your will to want to be different, your will to want to be distinguished. You want to be, yes, exactly. So we have here Earth. Okay. Earth. Wow. So your will to want to be here and be something different. Exactly. You're a portal. I mean, yeah, duh, you're a portal. I will not be surprised if you like came from a different planet, or if you subscribe to that, if you're a star seed that knows, because yes, you hold so much, you're connected to the source that sees everything, that sees this owl spirit, right? So maybe you brought that energy here to Earth. you brought that energy and that sense of wanting to ground into something better, or I don't know, this is interesting. You're definitely here to do something differently than the earth is used to, is what I'm getting here. And with earth coming out, this would definitely leave a mark on the earth itself, okay, and all of its inhabitants. And I feel like the way that you do this for sure is energetically. A lot of your work is very energetic because it all goes on within that crown chakra, with like connecting all the dots, also connecting the dots, paying attention to the details, paying attention to the signs, the omens, the symbols, and ultimately what drives us. Yeah, this is very interesting. All right, Earth here says the frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to the physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our great mother and revealing the more ethereal spiritual aspects of our nature. Very interesting, because even health here says, Mother Earth, sweet Mother Earth bright, bring to me your health and your might. Your work also has to do with maybe herbs. Maybe you work with herbs to help people heal a lot of ailments or a lot of diseases caused by, you know, their inner world or their inner conflict or their inner, yeah, the inner conflicts that a lot of people go through. I definitely feel like you're using herbs to heal people and to help them create a healing portal, something. Even ooh, maybe you're even doing like plant medicine. Yep, maybe plant medicine is also important here because you help them see from a higher perspective here. Okay, that's just me speculating now. Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you. Anyway, this is the end of your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it provided to you some clarity, comfort, and confirmation. Do not forget to turn your notification bell on. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hello there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading where we're taking a look at what is your legacy, okay? What legacy are you leaving behind? What is your great work culminating to, okay? So before we jump into your reading, I would love to get an archetypal energy that tells us what your great legacy is. That tells us about your legacy. Thank you. Wow, the Father. So a protector, a provider. Okay, the Father. The Father is very interesting because let's look at your other cards too. Very masculine energy. Very, very like, yes, I see military style energy. I don't know. This is like someone who's on point. Like, you know, if Father's got to provide, make sure his home is stable. Like, you know, that's what I'm getting here. We also have here karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Okay. So Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. And that is your significator. And this card here says new beginnings. This is the spell surrounding your legacy, is bringing new beginnings. So I see why the Father definitely came out, because the Father is almost the enforcer of that new beginning. So you're going to be enforced. This is something that you know we all need, and just like a father, you will provide. Okay, no matter what your gender is here, it's like just like a father, you are going to provide and protect. There's a need for you to protect something here and provide like information, provide wisdom, provide knowledge that helps us move into a new beginning. And new beginning here says, let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. Let this magic in my spell clears the space in which I dwell. So this is also like instructing the energy to clear the space. This is also like willpower, using your willpower to put a stop to this polarity and this conflict, this inner conflict. Soul growth. Okay, I'm also getting the South Node and North Node. I feel like you're someone who teaches people how to close out a cycle and like say absolute goodbye to that cycle and never open that door again, and really like helping them see the new beginning or the new way. I'm also hearing new earth here for you. So you are an herald of new beginnings, of a new earth, of like providing, or yes, because even this card is split in the middle. There's definitely a transition here. So you're definitely, I think you help people at crossroads. One of your legacy has to do with crossroads. Your legacy definitely has to do with crossroads in closing out karmic relationships, like seeing why we were so drawn and gripped and attached to some karmic relationships, and how to not like fight it, how to also forgive, okay? How to also forgive, I feel. It's almost like you're helping, this masculine energy is learning. Okay, now this is interesting because another thing is coming through. It's almost like this masculine energy is also learning feminine qualities. Learning feminine qualities, because the father also reminds me of like Mars energy of like just aggression and conflict and fight and all that. But this is using it in a way that is very beneficial and in a way that allows us to not hold malice or to not hold, I don't know, in a way that allows us to really forgive, because we finally understand the root or why these conflict is happening. It's so that we can grow. It's so that we can learn. It's so that, that's why we need discomfort. Sometimes that's why we need people to trigger us sometimes, because it shows us where we're not healed yet. It shows us where we're still holding up, and it shows us what's still controlling us, whether or not we're conscious or unconscious about it. And that's what I'm getting here. Orion energy is definitely very interesting, but this, because Orion is a hunter, right? So I feel like you definitely hunt insidious ways, or like insidious things of karmic, like, because some karmic relationship is so hard to understand that it's karmic, and because we're so drawn to each other, we don't even know why we're drawn to each other, and then we end up like we end up yeah, like we end up finding ourselves with conflict with each other, or like, just being so attached to that bond and not wanting to let go of it because it's a karmic bond, whether or not it's good for us or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Like, this is like, but you definitely help people choose the best new beginning, or like call in new beginnings. Okay, it's definitely summoning new beginnings. I feel like it's your legacy, because you really help people close out a cycle that they otherwise would have just kept going in a loop. Okay, I just see loop, never ending of the karmic hamster wheel, just going, going, going. But you are the consciousness, you have the zeal and the willpower of a father to want to create a new beginning, to plant seeds of new beginning, no matter what that means. And we also have number 2 here, and then 44. So even killed relationship, evenly yoked relationships is what you help people with here. Or like you help them heal whatever is in them that keeps wanting to be in this karmic relationship and like not having an opportunity for a new beginning. And you also help people understand where they're coming from so that they know where they're going now. That's another thing I'm getting. That's that south node, north node type of energy, like how to transit from the south node to the north node. And I also feel like you help people outgrow patterns that are keeping them stuck, patterns that are keeping them in a loop. Again, that is just keeping them on like this hamster wheel of, doing something over and over and over again, which is, which is the definition of insanity. So you help people stay sane in their new beginning is what I'm getting here. Let's go ahead and tap into tarot. Yours is pretty straightforward, I feel like. And I think that's what the key is here. Like, as a father, you have a duty to protect. I think, yes, you have a duty to protect and be of service. And I think the service that you provide, again, is closing out cycles and helping them see the possibilities around them, helping them grasp. And because people can see the possibility, they can see the potential and still not go for it because they're so attached to an old way of doing something and they don't even know why they're attached to it. So it's almost a light bulb has to go off, and you, my pile number 3, feels like that light bulb. That's whatever you're working towards, or whatever your legacy is, feels like a light bulb that goes off in people's minds, in people's heads. It's like, okay, I gotta stop doing it this way. I gotta change something, because this is causing me conflict. This is causing me disharmony. This is causing me, to be separate from the things that I truly want, like community, like, love, or like, I don't know. But let's go ahead and tap into your tarot. What is your legacy? Yeah, huh? 6 of Wands. I love seeing that. That's another solar energy. See, that's that 5. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me just get this out first. And the Chariot again. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Okay. You definitely. Okay. The thing is. Okay. I get it now. I definitely get this. I feel like, especially with this karmic relationships, right? Like, people are aware that they're on a mission of a karmic relationship, but only subconsciously. That's why I'm saying people don't even know why they're attracted to someone, or like why, they just have this strong calling, strong bond or calling to someone, right? And at first, it may be good. It may make them feel seen. But then all of a sudden, within the 5 of Cups, we're seeing that, things, when they don't work out, it causes us grief, right? And I feel like this is where you come in. You let them go through that grief, but you also help them see this bridge here, that it's time to cross the bridge. It's time to cross, even though this feels like a mission that has been failed. When they reunite at first, when whatever brings them together, if that mission fails and they're stuck in the grief mode, this is where you come in to help them dream up a new beginning, to help them dream up new possibilities, and to eventually help them find their own courage. Yes, to find courage. We have 7 coming out twice here. Okay, 7. So it's definitely, you help them with their spiritual battles. Okay, that's definitely what I'm getting here. Your legacy is about helping people close out cycles of their spiritual battles, for sure. Because the Chariot is a mission that we're on. Like, we know that we're going on a mission. We know that we're being sent out. But what's really baffling to me here is this first card that came is a card where people are applauding you. It feels good. It feels joyous. You're on the horse. You're on a pedestal. And yeah, some of these relationships can feel like that, can feel like, wow, you see me, I see you. This bond that we have, it just feels like it's faded. But when eventually it doesn't work, when people start to grow apart, and when they're at the crossroads, just like this 5 of Cups, when they're realizing that they lost the sense of who they thought, or when they realize that they lost what it is they thought they had, that was faded, that was like a bond within the 6 of Wands, you teach them to stand their ground. Okay, you teach people to definitely stand their ground and to choose themselves, no matter how good these karmic relationships can feel, no matter how much they may be tied to it. 5 of Cups, definitely you teach them how to like cross the bridge to the other side, cross the bridge to a new life, to a new beginning again, and to help them know that, listen, like, what's yours will always be yours. I feel like that's what you teach them here. It's just like a father. I feel like the father is the one that instills the authority or this sense of pride and independence within us, right? Whereas the mother is one that teaches us like our sense of nurturing, our sense of compassion towards ourselves and towards others. So that's where this courage comes from. It's like instead a seven of wands. It's like fighting for what's yours, which is your life, right? Regardless of these relationships. It's like regardless of these relationships, your life is your life, and you have to do something about it to be able to break off these cycles, break off this loop. So that's the energy that you bring in. That's what your legacy is to have that will and that zeal to be able to courageously dream up a new beginning, especially if people are in a loop that feels good to them on the surface, but really it's not anymore. It doesn't work. That feels really, really good to them on the surface. But then when they start to grow apart, and when they start to, because people will grow apart within these emotions here. Five of Cups, it's like spilled milk. It's like you put so much of your energy into this, and it's just not working anymore. But then you forget these two cups behind you. And these two cups are to foretell of equally yoked relationship, evenly keeled relationship that you don't even know that you could have. So that's where your legacy again comes in. Is like you tell them to look behind, like, hey, it's not all done yet. You can still fight for your right. You can still fight for this. You can still dream up in your life. Okay. And get back onto the mission of just, I don't know, whatever mission they're on within the chariot here. But like, yeah, get back on your mission of life, of being you, of creating a new way, a new beginning. No matter how bad it may look, or how bleak no matter how bleak things may look within this grief, and because this grief, it can almost like take over you can almost be lost in grief. So people that are lost in grief, especially grieving old karmic relationships that literally no longer brings them fulfillment, you come in and you teach them the courage to be able to break off of those things. Because it starts out good at first. See, we have 6, and then we have 5 going down, and then it goes back to a 7 and a 7. And I like your reading because it has 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it's like you teach them like, okay, this is also meant to happen. Don't worry, but don't get like thrown off by the grief. Don't sulk too much into your grief, and don't get lost into your grief. There's still a bridge that we have to cross. You have to cross the bridge. That's why I said you help people with crossroads, like really tough times to really hard crossroads, because again, some of these karmic relationships, we're so bonded to them, we're so tied to them that we almost don't even know who we are without these relationships sometimes. So that's why it's like with this new beginning, you teach people a new identity, or help them courageously hone in on their own identity or their true identity without these relationships, especially if they were codependent on some of these relationships. Because it starts out within the community first, like there's this joyful energy of victory, of like, yes, I found my people, I found my tribe, this and that, but then something happens within the 5 of Cups where people have to part ways, where conflict does happen, where, we're not going to be aligning on the same energy anymore. So yes, grieve it all you want, but you still got to cross this bridge, is what I feel like your legacy is saying. And I love it because eventually they do find reasons to live. Like, this is like finding reasons to live for, something like that, to keep going, to keep pushing, and to keep fighting for your life, is what I'm getting here within the chariot. And to inevitably, it's like almost to also do this from a place of, again, solace and forgiveness, from a place of like knowing that we're always the balance between the duality here, and to also awaken our consciousness to, again, how these karmic relationships plays out. and to know which relationships are karmic and the ones that are only here for a season to help us elevate into our new beginning. Because some of these relationships too, some of these karmic relationships too, they're meant to serve as a catalyst for us to see like, okay, something definitely is going on here. Something is not in alignment here with me anymore. So it's time for me to courageously break out of that loop, break out of that pattern, and, you know, go back on my mission here, or find what my true mission is within the chariot. Okay, yours was definitely straightforward. Especially people who also feel like the rugs was pulled from underneath them, like people who really felt comfortable in a place, in a certain type of lifestyle, and somehow some way they had a tower moment that, you know, broke them or awakened them to maybe things not seeming as good as it thought it was. So I feel like you definitely help people when it comes to like maybe breakups, relationships, divorces and stuff like that, and like helping them find their own identity and to be able to stand in their own identity, especially here with the Seven of Wands. But because this is like, yes, forcing things to work for you, like putting your own will, your own courage, and being brave enough to start a new beginning, to be like, I'm not going to let whatever happened in the past hold me back. I'm not going to let my past dictate my future and my present moment. That's what your legacy is about, especially with this new beginning. So that's the gift that you give them. That's the spell that your legacy gives people, is a sense of a new life, a sense of a new, you know, a new beginning, a new perspective, and also like a new mission, a new drive, you know, as opposed to whatever was attaching them or calling more karmic relationships to come into their life so they can learn to do something differently, if that makes sense. All right, so we're going to go ahead and tap into the animal spirit cards. Take them for yourself as they resonate in your life's journey right now, or see the big picture exactly. Or this is the legacy this is the energy surrounding your legacy. It's seeing the bigger picture. Helping people see the big picture for sure. Exactly. Helping people see. Oh, 2 butterflies. Oh my God. How? Huh? I love it. 2 butterflies. Yes. New beginning for sure. Transitions, crossroads for sure. You help people see that all is not lost. All is not lost. Okay. And that whenever chaos ensues or whenever we have a tower moment, it is time for us to, like, it was an invitation for a new beginning, and to not see it as something to keep grieving over or to something that makes you feel stuck. You definitely help people get unstuck from karmic cycles and loops that they've been in for a long time, that they've subconsciously feeling, because again, it feels so good, it feels so right, but again, something just abruptly happens to where they have to, like, you know, gather themselves together, and oftentimes not a lot of people have the energy to do that. So they need encouraging people like yourself, my group number 3, to come instill that confidence in them, instill that courage in them, instill that bravery in them, or something that you do, how you do it, instills and awakens a new sense of consciousness within them that then helps them keeps moving. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, they gotta move fast, you know. Antelope speed, life is speeding up, okay? And when life is speeding up, sometimes we can feel like, oh my God, can I catch a break? We can't catch a break. But I feel like this life is speeding up is reminding the people that especially get stuck in the grief, or they feel like they're stuck and they can't make a choice, or they don't have a choice. You teach them like, nope, you do have a choice. Life will keep going on whether or not you want to come. So you have the choice to come. Well, oh my God, this is how you know this is your pile for sure. Butterfly spirit transformation is beautiful. Yes. 11. Okay, so we have 11. Master number 11. Master number is 44. So you definitely have done this before. That's why. You've done this before. I feel like you've lived many lives, okay? You've lived many lives. You've like, okay, let me finish shuffling first. Thank you. Yeah. You definitely lived many lives to be able to, again, exit out of one and create a new one. And like having that old cycle not even repeating itself. Okay. All right. We also have here, I guess you got extra. Mouse spirit, tend to the small things, like grieving. Yep. Tend to the small things. Tend to the small things. I feel like this is like saying feel your emotions, don't push them down, because oftentimes when we do push down our emotions, it creates this density that then keeps, like, it's almost like you didn't learn from it. Okay, so tend to the small things. We also have swan spirit. It's time for a deep dive. Yep, a deep dive as to why these karmic cycles are repeating themselves. And let it shine, peacock. Let it shine. Let it shine, peacock. And that's your light. That's your light. And I feel like with let it shine is definitely also talk about the chariot, like letting your light shine so much so that you don't give up, to keep moving, to keep, like, being on this mission of life that we're in, and to be your best self while we're doing that. Okay. This is all right. So we're going to look at the frequency that your legacy carries. Okay. What frequency? Thank you. Communication. All right, definitely. Yep. Communication. Communication. Yep. Yep. You feel like a motivational speaker to me, for sure. A motivational speaker or something like that. Inspirational speaker, motivational speaker, for sure. That's what this is giving. And it says, the frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Okay. All right. This is all that I'm seeing for you, my group number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that it provided to you some clarity, comfort, confirmation. And don't forget to turn your notification bell on. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, guys.